Hello and welcome back to Hakim's video journal. Let me get situated a little bit. I think I'm gonna sit on that to be slightly higher. Ooh, I'm getting myself ready because I think this is gonna be a little bit of a longer one. I actually recorded. This is the first time I've had like two episodes in a row over like 10 minutes in a very long time. I've just been very chatty today. I guess I'm gonna turn my gain down a little bit, maybe to 11 or 9. I've had nobody to play video games. I'm like getting ahead of myself. I wonder what my heart rate is right now. But I'm just drinking. I'm excited to talk right now. I finished a workout and a walk, drinking my Dr. Pepper. So I'm a little amped right now. Forgive me. Is it a sin to be a little amped? Have a little fucking zen or something? I feel I've never had it, nicotine, but I feel like I'm off. I'm off some nicotine right now. So today woke up. Let me actually think. I just said that without thinking about what I actually did. Obviously, I woke up today, but I don't know what like I did after I woke up. So for real, what did I do? My memory is like literally failing me. Oh yes, I remember. I blocked it from my memory. I woke up and kind of moseyed around the house. I do need to. I used to be really good about waking up and instantly going just outside and like fully waking myself up, but I've been worse about that recently. So it was kind of like a slow get up. But I work at 1:30 today. Yeah, I worked at 1:30 today, so it wasn't like a time issue for me to. I'm gonna close this and this and this and have no distractions. I'll even turn my fucking phone on D&D. Um, so it was a pretty slow morning getting up, but I had to mow the lawn today, so I got that out of the way, begrudgingly, and then ended up going to work. And I say it like it was a big option, but I went to work. I park about like a mile away, maybe half a mile away, and then walk to work. So I got some steps in, and then yeah, work was pretty uneventful. Eh, the garage sale I'm helping my manager with is now like official. He put out a little like flyer, and put it on his Instagram, which I didn't know he had. Because he's old, I didn't expect him to have Instagram. Um, I was just thinking about looking at the camera, but I don't think I like looking at the camera too much. I think looking at yourself too much is bad, anyways. But doing so, I've been thinking about like my eye and how one of them like droops slightly lower than the other, and how that looks kind of weird, especially when like I look up and looking at the camera, I look up slightly. So I've been more looking straight forward, but I was caught myself looking at the camera. Not that it's like a bad thing, just I'm kind of moving a million miles a minute right now. Hashtag bars. Um, but yeah, help garage sale planned. That's gonna happen. I need to cancel Friday open mat for that, and then Saturday and Sunday, I'm also going to be helping with that in the morning. Also, this weekend is CJI, the Craig Jones Invitational, which is like a big jiu-jitsu event, with 8 teams. I'm pretty sure one of the teams, Team America, the coach of it is the owner of the gym that I am going to be moving to. So that's kind of cool to see him and his athletes on stage, Saturday and Sunday. Well, hopefully Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully he takes it down. I think that'd be really cool. Um. So then, yeah. Besides that, work was normal. I was kind of tired. Wasn't the best close of my life, but it was really whatever. And then I went to the gym for the first time in a while. It was like a 20-minute workout. I only did a few things, but just getting in there, I think part of the pressure of going to the gym is like thinking you have to do everything like perfectly, or like I have to do this many things in my session, or like any of that component. But just going to the gym and messing around is pretty fun and just gets you back in the habit of going to the gym. Like even just stepping foot in the gym helps build that habit of making it a ritual to go to the gym regularly, and it not needing to be bigger than it is, which like building stuff up usually is something I don't like really do. But just recently with the gym, I've been, I don't even think consciously, but just been uh not going, I guess is my point, which is not good because I want to go to the gym. Uh and then oh, I guess the most important thing about work is I kind of had a not lengthy but nice conversation with my coworker about my video journal, and I guess what I want out of it, and I guess its existence. Um, and later he came back and told me that the volume was too low, because he watched one of them. So turning that up now. Uh, but yeah, the main thing I mentioned was that I want them to be longer and more, I guess, introspective into my life. As well as something I've been missing recently is the actual wanting to improve the way that I talk. Um, like cutting out filler words, like um. Yeah, that is something I've been lacking on. I think there's a idea of I've been getting, not getting. I've been within the last year and a half into learning how to learn in general. But I guess the idea of is intentional practice, and I've just been talking without getting any feedback on. I haven't been concerned with cutting filler words. I've just been talking and kind of assuming that would make me better at talking, which it does to some extent, or I think it does to some extent, make you better and more eloquent. But the problem is, it doesn't cut away at your filler words when you don't. There's no negative to using filler words besides if you're not catching yourself and making note of saying things you don't want to, or even not slowing down in your talking to be able to think of what you're going to say and not use filler words actively, which at first is hard to do, like I'm doing right now. I have to think about what I'm going to say and not say the things that want to come to, I almost say come to mind, but come to tongue before mind. So I almost said there, which is why I had like this weird pause. So that is something more eloquent, longer episodes, introspective, time capsule, or like what I want looking back. That's what I want this project to be. And I guess fifth, definitely not in any particular order, but definitely not last, being a outlet for me to just display my emotions or what I'm thinking about, what's been on my mind, the achievements and progress I've made in my life, having a place to put all of that in a more, it feels weird. It feels like a more physical thing, even though obviously it's digital and my journal is like my physical journal is more physical. It feels more, I guess, sharing it like anybody can watch this. It feels more concrete than just in my journal in terms of, I don't know, in terms of validation, but in terms of like putting my thoughts out there. Uh it feels like I've really put my thoughts out there once it's video journaled rather than just journaled, if that makes sense. Speaking of, let's see what we journaled today. Um, Not much, about a sentence and a half. Uh, um, at work right now, amped up for recording today. Okay, bye. Um, Stop saying I need like a I need like I need a rubber band to like it's so hard to not use filler words. I need a rubber band so I can snap my wrist or some other method of punishment or positive reinforcement when I use or don't use a filler word to start reinforcing that in me. Maybe watching them back and tallying the amount of times I say like or would be good. I feel my eyes kind of dragging down as I look up, which I think means I'm getting tired. Even though I don't feel particularly super tired. Um so I guess it's time to get into the weird introspective rambling part of the episode, or just journal or day or whatever. But something I don't want to happen is to get less personal as more people watch. Like I was talking to my coworker today, and he has watched the episode and might watch this one. So, but I don't want that to let me shy away from talking about things that I think are important for me to talk about. And I don't think like who who's the person I want to watch this least. Maybe like my dad or something. If like he watches this, I don't think that should stop me from saying anything anyways. Kind of the idea of the video journal, I guess the difference is the video journal is something I might not say it to anybody, but I would be okay with anybody hearing it. Whereas my journal is not something I would like anybody seeing. Uh Even though I don't even get that much more personal in my journal, which I think I should get even more personal in my journal. Uh it's just like a different level, I guess. But I guess my point is I can still get personal in my journal, my video journal. So, I watched Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, which I thought was a amazing movie. Um, I think it's maybe the fourth time I've said it in the last 10 minutes, but I was talking to my coworker today, same coworker, about we've talked about movies and cinema and film in the past. So whenever I watch a movie I kind of like bring it up into conversation, which is another thing I've been doing better about is just talking about things I like to talk about. I've kind of had this thing in the past of feeling unnatural bringing up conversation topics that and just injecting things I want to talk about into conversation or just saying them abruptly and feeling like they need to be kind of discovered first. But I've been doing a way better job of just talking about the things I want to talk about. I even have a reminder on my phone to like don't wait to talk about what you want to talk about. Which today was the original Blade Runner. And I think it's the first movie I've really picked up on more subtle nuances of like symbolism and metaphor, and like felt like there was really a deeper message behind the movie that I was like tapped into. Uh which was really cool. And I think that's just developed from me like I guess thinking at length more and watching more movies and like being aware of more things has kind of all culminated in my analysis of Blade Runner, uh, which is I thought it was really interesting. Like I just talked about like being performative, like kind of the ultimate performance is like performing your humanity and like what it means to be human and like what humanity is and uh more kind of before its time of idea, like what is AI and what is consciousness outside of humanity, and like where do we stand ethically on that? Which was interesting. My friend that I was watching it with had kind of a more uh not even but he pointed something out that I didn't even think of, which was the replicants are like replicant people, but they're not human beings, they're robots. Uh but they still feel pain and emotion, or at least it's implied in the movie that they do. It's maybe convoluted whether they actually feel those feelings, or like if your computer says ow, you know the computer didn't feel any pain. It just says ow cuz you told it to, or programmed it when it detects it has contacted fire to say ow or whatever. But it doesn't feel pain in the same way. So I'm going to cut a little thing off a little dead skin off my finger because it was annoying me and derailing me. So, but I think the vast majority of people would say that the replicants have emotions in the movie, which I think it kind of undercuts the whole movie if they don't, or at least the message of the movie, in my opinion. So, but something he was said was, well, they're not people, uh, or opinion that somebody could have opinion about the replicants or the movie that somebody could have is, well, they're not people, they're like not the same as us. um which is interesting to me because I'm vegan. I think about animal ethics, and I guess have decided to not eat animals because of the idea of their suffering. I didn't really even consider the idea that the replicants not being human kind of was an element at play in whether they should live or die. Um that sounded kind of like preachy and high horsey, but I think it made me, after that comment, made me think about non-human ethics more, uh, like in the context of the movie. There was also like an interesting part of like, I don't even want to call him a villain because like I think the character is really cool, but the uh sure what the main replicant kind of like finding himself. uh he kind of killed his dad uh in a very brutal way. uh and then like in the last kind of fight with the Blade Runner, um yeah, it was kind of like this weird, like convoluted. I don't think convoluted is even the right term, but the something I really remember is the guy that helped create this replicant was like talking to him, and it's like the replicants have a very short lifespan, and he was dying. uh and it's like, you're like cooler than a human, basically. You should enjoy the time you have left. um and the replicant was kind of like grappling with that uh in the last fight, and like even didn't kill the main character multiple times when he could have, and like wanted to like play with his food, and even ended up saving the main character when he was about to die. And kind of like showcasing his humanity, which I think led the main character to then rethink his position on replicants and uh, uh, want to protect. I'm really bad with names, anyways, and then movie names are even worse. But the female replicant earlier, he was saying just wouldn't kill her, and she would have to like find somewhere else to be. But at the end of the movie, he I guess is implied to go with her and like try to protect her because she is, in my opinion, like just as human uh, as him. And I think that's the realization he came to too as a replicant, like saved his life and had this like shift. But anyways, I really like the movie. The aesthetic's really cool too. I should like watch it again and like maybe write down my thoughts as I'm watching it or something to that effect. And it also makes me excited to like watch more movies and think critically about them and like what they what they mean and what they're trying to say. And then also myself to be creative and have something to say with art, uh, which I don't think I really have a creative outlet right now. Writing is something I do, um, but I don't really get into creative writing that much. So I think that's something that'd be really good to channel my creativity into. So yeah, those were my thoughts on Blade Runner. I think I'm gonna end it there. Yeah, I don't want to just talk ad nauseum. Uh, nice vocab. Um, but I have been trying to inject more things I can talk more at length about that aren't just like how my day was or like how my week has been. I think on the scale of even like months and years, it could be more interesting to talk about like how has my last month been. Specific, not to derail the episode further, but this last month I feel like I've kind of fallen off the horse a little bit in terms of like my habits. But yeah, I think that's kind of. But I think socially, I've had like really big strides this month, and like being more social and comfortable talking to people. But in terms of like going to the gym, running, and eating, even like getting my steps in every day, uh, I've definitely averaged 10,000 steps this month, but I haven't been on a streak of 10,000 steps this month. Like I've had days of having 6,000 or like 8,000 steps, which isn't something that I want to do. I want to hit 10,000 steps every day. Uh, so yeah, but I think even on that level, it's a lot better. But even that took like 10 seconds to get through. I didn't really get into like how my month has been because I don't think there's enough there to boil down into something I can talk about more at length and kind of get into why I think about what I think about, if that makes sense. I kind of want to talk about my my culture and what I think about that and my identity a little bit more, kind of as the last two things I've talked about more at length and how they intertwine together. I think I have some unique thoughts on that, but I'll save that for tomorrow or another day. But I think it's bedtime now. It's like midnight and I work tomorrow. But nice 24-minute episode. I think that's the third longest episode I've ever done. So I was really, and if we count the three episodes I did today, it was like 40 minutes of just talking. So yeah, I want to continue that streak going forward and keep yapping.